right, thank you for staying with the Monday Report. Let's bring up some of your feedback and see what you're saying before we take closing remarks from my guests here, including a question from Fred Obachi Machoka saying, where does government have affordable tree nurseries at county level? Sir Nixon Dugire says, taking tender care of young trees is very paramount. You may not plant millions of trees, but if you can take care of one single tree with love and care, that will make you great. Okay? And let's see what else you're saying here. I think it's from Kate Besk. That's what your today's tree planting exercise is noble. We need to gazette this day under Wangari Maathai's name. Meanwhile, we should make a follow-up of the progress of the trees planted to ensure a success. Yes, we're talking about that progress in just a bit. Chris John says, Miti tulipanda. We will continue to do so. The target is much achievable if all avenues take the exercise seriously, not as PR. Imagine if all public entities like schools, churches, cooperatives planted at least 100 trees each monthly. Okay? Babu Michael says, planting of trees as experienced today is one of the best activities to carry in a country and continent at large to slow down the effects of climate change. Most important one is to do follow-ups on those planted trees until maturity. And Tarus, this is actually the main conversation on the follow-ups. Where do we go from here now as you make your closing remarks? And also as you answer Fred Obachi, who wants to know at the county level, where does government have affordable tree nurseries at county level?
So thank you very much, Fred, for that question. The government has seedlings across Kenya Forest Service nurseries.
KFS nurseries.
KFS nurseries within Kefri. For fruit trees also within Kalro and other agricultural affiliated institutions, because part of the strategy of delivering the 15 billion was to see how the production value chain to provide sustainable seed and seedling supplies become part of the initial steps to be undertaken. And Kenya Forest Service and Kefri got exchequer support to be able to realize that that is achievable. Of course, within our long-term strategy, it is the way I re-emphasize its all society, all government approach. And there are quite a number of areas where many people can plug in. There are clearly delineated targets and deliverables, for instance, placed on every government institutions. And that's why you saw the whole government in one way or the other participating, because that is a responsibility that they need to support. So each ministry will handle what they've already been assigned. Yes. To ensure that it grows. They ensure that it grows. County government the same. Yeah. There would also local be administration also the same. Yes. There's also be a great opportunity for private sector to plug in. Okay. To be able to become, and communities to be able to become part of these greater stories. Okay. So as my closing remarks, basically I still want to call out on all Kenyans that the journey has just begun. We have a 10-year time frame to deliver. 2032 is our finish line. And we want to say, let's continue planting. We have a target of actually growing 500 million trees, seedlings, or within these short trains. Yeah. And basically be able to do way above 1.5 billion every year till we hit the target by the year 2032. Okay. That will call for partnership, that will call for collaboration, that will call for each one of us doing their bit. Okay. And I want to finish by a quote that somebody said, success is a sum of small efforts that you do day in, day out. So if all of us continue doing what we did today, for the next day, for the next month, for the next year, by 2032, we should be able to look back and say, indeed, we did it. And I am convinced, based on the number of turnouts and based on the number of institutions and partners who came out to appreciate and commemorate this very important day, be led by none other than His Excellency the President. Okay. So, thank you. All right. Liz, closing remarks on this?
Yeah, so first I want to congratulate every Kenyan that participated in today's tree planting, whether they planted at home, in the events that were organized, but every Kenyan that took part in this, because that means they were part of making history and part of making sure that this planet is habitable for the next generations. And also to encourage every Kenyan that did not plant to continue and make sure that they've planted the trees, because we are doing this to make sure that we are creating an ecosystem and an environment where our children can be able to have clean air, clean water, food to eat in plenty. And all of these things are connected to us us contributing to making our environment better, more healthier, cleaner and greener. And also to remind us all that all the small acts we have done, when we multiply them by millions of us, it means that we'll make a huge difference. So there is power in collective action, and there is power in us going out there and making sure that we take it up upon ourselves to make the environment our personal responsibility and cultivate a culture of tree growing in whichever thing we are doing, whether we are marking our birthdays, whether we are having celebrations at home, let it be a culture within us. And also to encourage every person that let every tree that has been planted today grow and flourish, because that is what is going to determine the impact that we've done today. Okay. Thank you.
Kalua Green.
Allow me, first of all, to give a high five, because that's very lovely. You're the best. That's very nice. So let me just say this. Today I was excited to be part of a team that was gathered to plant trees equivalent to their age. We all planted those trees in a place called Ndundune. Ndundune means red squirrel, because the soil is red, and therefore the color of the squirrel. And I was very excited to see the local community feeling that this is their project. Yeah. This is something. So we need to open our homes, we need to open our public places and be able to bring this together. Secondly, the reason why Safaricom is so popular is because they go out to market. You look around and you notice that color is a Safaricom color. And that is why in the recent past they have made 621 billion Kenya shillings, becoming one of the leading African companies. The same thing, we need to borrow a leaf from Safaricom. And by that I mean corporates, that we can be able to market. Yeah. Someone like George must be given an opportunity. I don't believe that it is not there, but we need to see more of George on television. We need to see more of the minister like we saw her yesterday. We need to see more of the CCF. They are doing a good job. They are very good officers. They are committed to do things. We need to see them out doing things that can be able to change this country, and people to understand and relate with them, because that can also relate with funding and so much money that is available. We need to put our Kenyans together. I believe in a project called the Green Africa Villages. This is the total solution in our country, and we need to start doing things that are going to change. We need to bring in the monetary value for all that we are doing, because unless we do that, we are not going to succeed in this fight for getting our country green. I congratulate His Excellency the President, together with Mama Rachel, for being available today to plant trees, and I am sure that those who have been left together to do this, someone like Governor Mutula Kilonzo, his story about protection of the environment did just start. It's been there for a long time. So I'm sure those trees are safe, and we are going to see much more of this. May God bless Kenya. Let us do our best. Let us plant trees equivalent to our ages.
All right. Thank you so much for making time this evening. George Tarus, Acting Conservation Secretary, State Department for Forestry. Dr. Isaac Kalua Green, founder Green Africa Group. Elizabeth Waduti, founder Green Generation Initiative. And thank you all for watching. This has begun today. It's a journey that we all have to put our hands together. Imagine this for your children, for your younger brothers, for your siblings. What have you done to secure their future? It's as simple as planting a tree. My name is Trevor Mbija. It's always a pleasure being here with you. On behalf of the entire team that made this possible, we say good night and God bless.